Watch the lights on the left, top left of your screen. They are on and they are off, and the clutches are dumped, and away goes Sam Christie. Sam Christie getting a brilliant start. Sam Christie, number 34. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement slotting into second. Rob Biggs into fourth, fifth as I speak, because through goes Lewis Blackstock and Rosney. But Sam and Tom Christie lead. 1 year ago here, Sam Christie shed his brother Adam at church, ankle injuries, and he's not really back on form yet. So his twin Tom is in the chair and has done an admirable job all season. The Christie boys from Beverley in Yorkshire. Sidecar engineers, they build the chassis, they tune the engines, they prepare theirs. They're being chased by Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement, the number 93 outfit. They're the Has-Beens duo. They're Rupert Archer, number 70, on the Hannafin bike at the back. Round then towards this sweeping right-hander. Through they go, past the curb cam. Cloudless sky. And now away up Woodham Hill. Up Woodham Hill, they'll be hooking sixth gear up here, about 110 miles an hour, going into the chicane. Through goes Todd Ellis, up to the lead. The Christies then back down to second. Ellis Clement on the Santander Salt Yamaha lead the race at the end of lap one. If there was ever going to be a passing place, that was going to be it. George Holden and Oscar Lawrence, number 93, having assumed the mantle of being the quickest of the Holden family at the moment. Father John, of course, a TT winner, a brilliant campaigner at national and international level over the years. We'll be back, if not later in the season, certainly next year. But let's have a look at this move as they come round up Woodham Hill. It's on the brakes, lining up the inside. Well, there was a gap. He went for it. Not even any contact. Beautifully clean move. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement lead. Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney, number 95. We're looking back with the Christies at the moment. They need to score decent points. This man, Todd Ellis, the man leading the race, is also leading the World Championship. And the way things are, he's on target to win both, except that he will miss Donington. When the rest of these guys are at Donington Park, he will be away defending his championship lead in Germany. You cannot be in two places at the same time. And if ever I stated the obvious, that is it. Simon Robinson, Mick Fairhurst, number 19, ahead of Andy Peach, Ken Edwards, and then it's Dean Nichols and Ruben Janssens. The Belgian passenger, as I said, here for the first time, so getting a good outing here. Rupert Archer with his young passenger, Rhys Gibbons, who rode with Lewis Nicol at Donington last year, the young lad from Scotland. So this young boy really jumping in at the deep end and doing a great job. Battle here between two veterans, if I could put it that way. Andy Peach, Ken Edwards. Number 4, Ken Edwards from the West Country. And Andy Peach, of course, from Kent, himself a former Grand Prix driver and Grand Prix passenger with Roger Body, among others, at Grand Prix level. Let's have a look at the curb. They're putting the sidecar wheel right on the grass. Bits of debris flying back. Rupert Archer and Rhys Gibbons get through the mess. Peach and Edwards have had so many breakdowns in the last 3 meetings. They've got through about 5 engines. And these big Avon tyres in this incredible heat, like all the rubber, they do tend to get my teeth in. They do tend to disintegrate. And after practice, some of those radiator grills, you can see them in the front of the sidecars, were actually filled with rubber debris, just there. You can see where it breathes for the radiator. Shreds of rubber get into those grills, and the Christies had an awful lot of rubber because they followed George Holden as his rear tyre almost fell apart. At the front then, the gap now 1.06 seconds advantage Ellis had over Christie after 3 laps, last time over the line. They're the race leaders. Ellis Clement, the young French passenger, 25 years of age, rode with Sébastien Delannoy to the 2017 French National Championship. then rode with younger driver Paul Église in the French Championship, was about to jump in alongside Pekka Pavarinta in 2020. Then a certain thing called COVID descended on the world sports scene, and that didn't happen. But once she climbed aboard the Santander Salt outfit with Todd Ellis, they have not looked back. They're in complete unity. She moves incredibly quickly and smoothly, lithe, agile, and obviously extremely fit. And Todd Ellis, 27 years of age, from North Kelsey, up there in Lincolnshire, as I say, on target to win both championships. Now we've got a battle. Andy Peach, Ken Edwards, ahead of Dean Nichols and Ruben Janssens, then Rupert Archer and young Rhys Gibbons having a good race here. So they're in close contact. Dean Nichols plans to do the rest of the season, possibly with the exception of Cadwell, having ridden in a new championship, the Northern Cup, which is run in the northern part of Europe, Germany, Holland, up into Scandinavia, and has been attracting quite big grids and throwing the grids open to short outfits, long outfits, 1000cc, 600, whereas we, of course, in the UK are 600cc maximum, and that applies at world level too for the World Championship. Peach and Edwards. Let's watch Ken Edwards. He was refining his talent in the pits, just getting his foothold right. On this sharp right-hander all the way round Church, you have to get your foot wedged, and that will take the strength off your arms. If you haven't got that foot wedged, the impetus, the G-force, is trying to throw you out over the left-hand side of the sidecar all the way around there, and that is utterly exhausting on the arms. You'll end up with arm pump, and you'll be fit for nothing at the end of the race, if indeed you stay on. Up to the chicane then, again, Peach and Edwards, but Nichols and Ruben Janssens giving them a good run for their money. Rupert Archer staying very much in touch. At the front, the battle still charging on here. Christie's number 34 outfit got it down to 0.6 of a second. They're winding in the race leaders. Let's have a look, 119.5. Well, that is just outside the race and lap record, but they went half a second quicker than that in qualifying. And you can see now where the gap is. Lap times are close to lap record, but still that gap 0.6. Let's see what it is over the line next time at the chicane. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement, Santander Salt Yamaha, Christie's, Christian Engineering Services Yamaha. Over the line they go. Still a second, 1.1 that time. So Ellis has pulled the pin again. Still the best lap, 119.5. And that was on lap 3. So that's what he did to open the gap. Meanwhile, further back with that scrap for 6th place, and that's the battle we're watching. Peach has got it, Nichols wants it, Archer wishes he could get closer so he had a chance of getting it, but he's still off the back. Hawkswell and Biggs, is he in the pits? Biggs right at the back, in the pits. Yes, he is, so more trouble, more woe for Ellis's teammate in the Santander Salt awning, Rob Biggs and Jason Pitt. There they are. So a sorry sight that is. Another retirement for Rob Biggs. It's a cliche, but if he had any luck at all, it would be bad luck. It's been a torrid season for Rob Biggs in terms of mechanical reliability. Something of a mystery fault they really have not been able to cure. The outfit simply loses power, gets slower and slower and slower the longer the race goes on, and it could be temperature related. As I say, the temperature here, unbelievably hot. We are well over half distance now, with Andy Peach fending off that challenge. Simon Robinson, number 19, having something of a lonely ride, with Lewis Blackstock off the back of George Holden, but the Christies still 2 seconds adrift from the race leader. Peach coming in. Let's have a look. Riding a bit of a moment there with George Holden clipping the curve right over the rumble strip. Sidecar wheel pawing the air. That really was taking the short route, but all's fair in love and war, and that battle for sixth place still going on. Dean Nichols getting ever closer now, ever closer. Dean Nichols and Ruben Janssens on the back of Andy Peach. 8 laps were on, 7 completed. Can Andy Peach's bike go the distance? Let's hope so. Can Ken Edwards go the distance? Well, he's using his energy sparingly, and that's the thing to do. And just watch as they go round here, round the back, Goodwood, and then off towards Village. At Noble now the right-hander of Goodwood. And this is pretty much 6th gear, flat out, 120 miles an hour round here and into Church. It is relentless. It is relentless, this right-hand drive all the way around here. See the feet firmly wedged against the wheel arch. That is what you must do. It's absolutely essential. If you don't do that, it's game over. Out of the bottom there. Exiting Church, up into top gear. Out of Brooklands and up Woodham Hill. They're coming up to the chicane now. Has Dean Nichols got an answer here? He's having a look at Andy Peach, but skating in, the tyres sliding all over the place, taking the more economical route through the chicane. Another lap completed. Ellis then race leaders on lap 9 of 12. So 3/4 race distance achieved by the race leaders. The rest of them fighting their way through. The gap at the front, 3.6 seconds now. But nothing between these two. It's visual. Andy Peach, Ken Edwards. Oh, Ken a little tardy getting through, and that allowed Dean Nichols to go through. Ken and Andy wide on the left there. So Andy Peach leaving the door open, whether it's intentional or unintentional. Just couldn't get the power on when he needed it. But Dean Nichols, Ruben Janssens, up into 6th place now. They'll be pleased with that. Peach fighting back, not having any of it. Andy Peach strong on the right-hander. He knew Ken was where he had to be there, and he needed to be there. And now Dean Nichols coming the long way round. Can Janssens hold it together on this? Look at that, fantastic stuff, snaking through. Dean Nichols then round and away again. Now, has Andy got anything in reply as they come out of Brooklands and up Woodham Hill? No, Dean Nichols has got a good advantage here. It was pretty exciting stuff that Andy Peach had a bit of a go. He came through on the right-hand side. The door was open and through he went. And Dean Nichols that time went wide. Peach was back up. That was a good, strong move. No contact. How tidy do you want it? Look at the passengers. Look where their feet are. Just wedged firmly. Excellent, excellent stuff. Copybook stuff. And that from a Belgian who's never been here before. Tail ender, the Has-Beens boys, ahead of Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. Her ponytail flapping. Oh, that nearly was Has-Beens. That they're through on the inside. Todd Ellis has gravel all over the track there from that off-road excursion we saw. Todd Ellis on the inside going through, then relegating the back markers. But Derek Taylor doing a great job. They race for fun and they race every week, in, out, all the time. They're here. They support the programme. And that's what we need at the moment. Sidecar Racing going through something of a hiatus in terms of attendances. There's been a perfect storm with, first of all, Brexit, then the epidemic or the pandemic, and then, well, what can I say? Ukraine war, financial penalties. Most of these guys, in fact, all of them are privateers. They're racing out of their own pockets, unlike many of the superstar superbike teams. Yes, there's sponsorship, but the average tyre bill every round is about £1,000. And if you're writing cheques for £1,000 every time to put 3 or 4 tyres on the outfit, you can understand why they can't afford to do all the rounds. But as we get into the second half of the season, we are extremely confident but the grids will swell again and we'll get more teams lining up to offer resistance and a challenge to Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement, because they are marching on here to what will be their 6th consecutive victory in a British Championship race, having won everyone they've contested with the exception of Knockhill, because they were away in Hungary on World Championship duty. Coming up behind then another tail ender, which will be Andy Peach and Ken Edwards. So 27-year-old Todd Ellis through on the inside underneath Andy Peach. No disgrace, they're still in 8th place. So good points up for grabs here, and double points at Brand's finale, which will add a little bit of impetus to Todd Ellis's championship challenge. He might miss 2 races, but he can win double points at Brands Hatch. Final lap for these, they're on it. It's a great show again here in the scorching heat of Thruxton as they come round behind Rupert Archer and Rhys Gibbons, the number 70 Hannafin bike. The checkered flag is out, race victory again. So first race here at Thruxton, 12 lapper, and hats off to all the crews for competing in such conditions. And it's extremely hot under the fairing, and it's doubly hot on the back. Great stuff. Crowd like that, they like their Sidecar racing here in Hampshire. And Emmanuel Clement can pat herself on the back metaphorically for having done a sterling job here on a track she had never seen before, apart from looking at old YouTube footage. 1:19.5, the fastest lap. Well, that is 0.4 shy of the outright lap record, or the 600 lap record, set here last year by Ben and Tom Birchall. Well, the Christies gave them a run in the early stages of the race, but Ellis Clement triumphed, 6 seconds the gap at the end over Sam and Tom Christie. George Holden, Oscar Lawrence, a firm third ahead of Blackstock and Rosny. They need to up their game, but trust me, they're doing everything they can. Robinson, Fairhurst, Nichols, Jansen's brilliant for them. Haven't been here for ages, and Jansen's never at all. Archer, Gibbons ahead of Peach, Hawkswell, and a retirement for Biggs and Jason Pitt on the Express Tyres Services Yamaha.